And is just the latest billion-dollar disaster to hit the United States. It came just weeks after Hurricane Fiona. Earlier this week, NOAA released its report showing how often disasters are happening. So meteorologist Grant Gilmore is going to break it all down for us.
Yeah, so here's the map, guys, of the $15 billion disasters so far this year. This is just basically through September, and that includes Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Fiona. But you look across the country, you got the extreme drought and heat across the desert west and into Nevada and California. Several severe weather events across the nation's heartland. You've got fires in New Mexico, large hail events across the Midwestern states, and all of these are just continuing to add up, and they're becoming more and more frequent. When you look at the number, we've had 15 so far this year. Not the most at this point throughout the year. The most was just a couple of years ago, but we are certainly well above the average of number of billion-dollar disasters. And not only are we seeing more of them, but just the time in between $1 billion disaster to the next is decreasing. You go back into the 80s and you would go like 80 to 100 days between $1 billion disaster to the next $1 billion disaster. And you see, as we get into the 2000s and beyond, the frequency is just increasing so much. In fact, between 2017 to 2021, the average number of days in between $1 billion disaster to the next is an average of 18 days. You go back to the 1980s, and there it was 82. No doubt that climate change is becoming a part of this, where we're seeing more and more frequent, strong, and severe weather events, but it's just making more extremes. Extreme drought, extreme cold, extreme heat, extreme hurricanes, like what we saw with Hurricane Ian. So all of this is all tallying up into really becoming an issue of not just the direct impacts, but the ability for us to be able to respond and then ultimately recover from these extreme weather events. So that's just something that came out from NOAA, but also our partners with Climate Central, and just looking at the frequency of these extreme weather events ultimately producing billion-dollar disasters. Fortunately,